Good morning. Let us start with today's session. So in previous lecture we have seen about how to solve by the least cost method and the Vogel's approximation method. So we will continue with the same today. We will start finding our initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation method and check its optimality by Modi method or stepping stone method. So this is the question which we will solve today. A wholesale company has 3 warehouses from which supplies are drawn for retail customers. The supplies of warehouses are given below. So in the table you are given what is the supply and what are the demands at the customer end. The following table gives the transportation cost per unit shipment from each warehouse to each customer. Determine what supplies to dispatch from each warehouse to each customer so as to minimize overall transportation cost. That means first you have to find out initial basic feasible solution, and then you have to check out its optimality also, so that we can certainly say that it is a minimum cost. So whether it is written in the question or not, if the word minimize or minimum transportation cost appears in the question, you need to also check by either Modi method or stepping stone method. So these are the cost associated. So if a commodity is supplied from warehouse 1 to customer 1, the cost associated will be 3 rupees and so on. So first I will draw a table as per our requirement. As per our requirements, I will just club these two tables in a single table like this. The first step in any transportation problem is to check whether the supply and demand are equal or not. Or in other way I can say that check whether it is a balanced transportation problem or no. For checking the balance of transportation, we just need to do the addition of supplies and addition of demands, and both should come same. I will get answer as 65. So as 65 is same for supply as well as demand, we can say it is an balanced transportation problem. Next step is to find out the initial basic feasible solution. So for basic feasible solution, we can go by any of the methods like northwest corner rule, row minimum, column minimum, least cost, Vogel's approximation, etc. But Vogel's approximation method gives the more appropriate result as compared to others. Hence, we will emphasize on that method only. For that method, what we need to do, we need to extend our rows and columns like this so that we can find out penalties. So I will quickly go through this part because we have already studied this, how to calculate. Starting with the first row, we will find out penalty by subtracting the two minimum numbers. So I will get 2, 1 and 4, and in column side I will get 3, 5, 1 and 0. Then we need to check what is the maximum penalty on either of row or column. So here the maximum penalty is 5. That means what I will allocate, I will allocate in this particular column only. Now after seeing the maximum penalty, we need to see at what point there is minimum cost. So minimum cost is at this point, so this cell will be allocated first. And what will be allocated? The minimum of supply and demand. So minimum of supply and demand is 19. So 19 will be allocated here. After allocation, we need to do the counter effects. So counter effects are this 19 will get cancelled out and this 28 will become now 9. Now again we will go for penalty. So penalties now are 2, 3, 4 and 3, 1 and 0. Now maximum penalty is 4. So I will make an arrow here. That means whatever I will assign in this particular row. Now in this particular row, which cell? So the cell which has minimum cost. So this cell will be allocated first. Now allocation will be the minimum of supply and demand. So minimum of supply and demand is this 13. So 13 will be allocated here. Then counter effects will be this 13 will get cancelled and this 17 will become now 4. Now next, again finding out penalty. So now penalties will be 2, 1, 2 and 3 and 0. So maximum penalty is 3. So I will make an arrow in this column and the allocation will be done at this particular point because this has the least cost. So the allocation will be out of 15 and 20, 15 is minimum. So 15 will come out here and then counter effects, this 15 will get cancelled out and this 20 will now become 5. Now next part, now the penalties are 5, 5 and 9. So 9 is the highest. So I will make an arrow here and the only thing remain is this one. So I will allocate here, and what will be allocated out of 4 and 18, 4 is minimum. So 4 will be allocated. Now counter effects, this 4 will get cancelled out and this 18 will remain as 14. Now next, so you can see that I have directly allocated 9 and 5 because if I go by penalties also I will get the same answer. So just to reduce the time I am writing it directly. So with this we have completed all the allocation part. and now we will find out what is the transportation cost. See, I am telling we are finding out transportation cost. I didn't mention the word minimum. So after finding out initial basic feasible solution, we just get the cost. Total cost will be, we will get around 209. Okay, so let us proceed further. So this, till this part we have also done in our previous class. Now next is to find out or check for the optimality of the solution, whether whatever we have found out is optimal or not. So for that, the first step, whether you go for Modi method or you go for stepping stone method, the first step is to check whether there is any degeneracy. Degeneracy means whether there is any shortage of something. So to check that, we have one relation that we have to calculate m plus n minus 1. Okay, this step should be done after finding out initial basic feasible solution and before optimality check. What you need to do, you need to find out the value of m plus n minus 1, where m are the number of rows, n are the number of columns. So here the number of rows are 3, so I will write down 3. The number of columns will be 4, so 3 plus 4, and minus 1. So the answer I will get as 6. Then you have to count what are the number of allocations. What are the number of allocation which we have done by initial basic feasible solution. There is one allocation here at 1 1, other allocation is here 1 4, then third allocation 2 2, fourth allocation 2 4. In simple terms, you have to just see how many allocations we have made. So if you see the matrix, there are in all 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. There are 6 allocations. So I will write here number of allocated cells equal to 6, and this condition should be satisfied. M plus n minus 1 should be equal to number of allocated cells. If this condition is satisfied, I will write the solution is non-degenerate. Non-degenerate means there is no possibility of anything to be add on here. Everything is perfect. Okay, so this will be the first step to check the degeneracy. So we have to find out m plus n minus 1. We have to check out for number of allocated cells. If both are equal, I will write solution is non-degenerate, and we will proceed further to optimality check. Okay, let us start with optimality check. First of all, I will let you know that this method is known as either modified distribution method, in bracket you can write out short form Modi method, or it is also known as UV method. Normal, sometimes in exam it also comes. Check the optimality by UV method. So UV method is nothing but the Modi method or modified distribution method. So what we have to do, we have to assign U's and V's to various rows and columns like this. Now I will write here U1, U2, U3, and similarly for columns I will write down V1, V2, V3, V4. Okay, as it is UV method, we have to find out U's and V's for particular row and particular column. Now next step, after writing this, we have to find out the values of these cells, or what are the values of U1, U2, U3, V1, V2, V3 and V4 and so on. So how will I find this? There is a simple formula or simple logic. U and V, the addition of U and V should give me the cost at that particular location. Let us say this one. यहाँ पर cost क्या है 3, बट ये कौन सी पोजीशन पे है 1,1 पे, फर्स्ट रो फर्स्ट कॉलम पे. तो मेरा इक्वेशन क्या बन जाएगा U1 plus V1, first row first column. So it will be U1 plus V1 should give me answer as 3. ये मेरा इक्वेशन बन जाएगा. Similarly, let us say this position. ये जो 5 दिख रहा है आपको, ये कौन सी पोजीशन पे है, फर्स्ट रो पे है और फोर्थ कॉलम पे. तो मेरा इक्वेशन क्या बन जाएगा U1 because it is first row plus V4 because it is fourth column. So U1 plus V4 should give me answer as 5. ये मेरा इक्वेशन बन जाएगा. अगर आपको ओरल नहीं जमता, यू कैन राइट डाउन इक्वेशन एंड देन सॉल्व. तो आप इक्वेशन लिख के रख लो, 6 इक्वेशंस. एक ये इक्वेशन हो गया U1 plus V1 इक्वल टू 3. दूसरा इक्वेशन क्या हो जाएगा U1 plus V4 इज इक्वल टू 5. तीसरा इक्वेशन हो जाएगा ये वाला जहां पर 1 है, इसका क्या हो जाएगा U2 plus V2 इज इक्वल टू 1. ये वाले 5 का इक्वेशन हो जाएगा u2 प्लस v4 इज इक्वल टू 5, और ये वाला छठा इक्वेशन हो जाएगा u3 प्लस v3 इज इक्वल टू 3, और लास्ट में ये इक्वेशन होगा u3 प्लस v4 इज इक्वल टू 9. तो देर आर 7 अननोन्स. देखो आप लॉजिक के पीछे जाओ. अननोन्स कितने हैं? 7 है. u1 u2 u3 v1 v2 v3 v4. अननोन 7 है और इक्वेशन हमको 6 ही मिल रहे. So number of equations are less than number of unknowns. So it is not possible to solve. Solution कब possible होगा? जब number of equation will be equal to number of unknowns. Then we can find out. But यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? Equation हमारे पास कम है, unknown ज़्यादा है. इसलिए हमको क्या करना है? कोई भी एक unknown को अपनी मर्जी से assume करना है. And that assumption can be for any value and for any variable. आप u1 के लिए अज्यूम करो, आप u2 के लिए अज्यूम करो, आप v1 के लिए अज्यूम करो, कुछ भी हो सकता है. ऑल्सो यू कैन अज्यूम एनी वैल्यू. यू कैन अज्यूम 0, यू कैन अज्यूम 1, यू कैन अज्यूम 2, यू कैन अज्यूम -2, -1, एनीथिंग. बट फॉर सिंप्लिसिटी वी टेल दैट यू अज्यूम ऑलवेज u1 इज इक्वल टू 0. तो देखो यहाँ पर मैंने u1 इक्वल टू 0 कर दिया. अब क्या हो गया? देर आर 6 इक्वेशन एंड देर आर 6 अननोन्स. Now just you put u1 values in the equation. वो जो 6 इक्वेशन साइड में लिख के रखे हैं, उस 6 इक्वेशंस में u1 की वैल्यू 0 डालो जहां पर u1 है. सो यू विल गेट अनदर अननोन. फिर उसको दूसरे इक्वेशन में डालो, थर्ड मिलेगा. उसको तीसरे इक्वेशन में डालो, फोर्थ मिलेगा, एंड सो ऑन, एंड यू विल फाइंड आउट ऑल दिस वैल्यूज. अगेन आई रिपीट, इट इज जस्ट द एडिशन ऑफ u and v at that particular point. The addition of u and v should give you the cost. Now next step. In this step, what we have found out? We have found out the values of u and v by taking the help of allocated cells. Again, I repeat, I have found out the values of u and v just by taking help of allocated cells. जहां पर allocation था, जैसे यहाँ पर था 3 पे 15 था तो हमने इसका यूज किए. ये 5 पे 5 था, इसका यूज किए. 1 पे 19 allocation था, इसका यूज किए. So by using the values which are allocated, we found out the values of u1, u2, etc. Now next what we have to do, we now need to find out what is the opportunity cost of unallocated cells. Allocated cells से u1, u2 वगैरह निकाल लो. अब हमको निकालना है opportunity cost for unallocated cells. Let us go one by one. पहला नॉन allocated cell कौन सा? ये वाला है, 1 और 2. तो 1 2 के लिए इक्वेशन क्या बन जाएगा? u1 प्लस v2, ये तो हम लोग करते ही थे, माइनस द कॉस्ट एट दैट पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन. ओके, सो माय इक्वेशन विल बी लाइक दिस. डेल्टा 1 2 और अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर प्लेस एट दिस पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन विच इज नॉन एलोकेटेड. तो ये कौन सी पोजीशन है? u1 v2. सो आई विल राइट डेल्टा 1 2 इक्वल टू u1 प्लस v2 माइनस कॉस्ट एट दैट पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन. So what I will get? u1 we have already found out as 0, v2 we have already found out as 1, and minus the cost at that place is 6. So I will get answer as -5. Okay, let me proceed further. एक दो एग्जाम्पल और बताऊंगा तो आगे का तुम लोग कर सकते हो. So okay, let us go at this position. ये भी अभी नॉन एलोकेटेड है. So this one, let us go and find out opportunity cost for this cell. Now at this position what happens? What is the location? The location is first row and third column. तो क्या हो जाएगा इक्वेशन? u1 प्लस v3, ये तो हो गया लोकेशन का पार्ट. u1 प्लस v3 एंड माइनस वी हैव टू डू द कॉस्ट एट दिस पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन, दैट इज 8. सो माय इक्वेशन विल बी u1 प्लस v3 माइनस 8. सो आई विल गेट आंसर लाइक दिस as -9 because u1 and v3 we have already found out in the previous step. One more, let us go one more. अब यहाँ पर ये तो एलोकेटेड है, इसको छोड़ दो. नेक्स्ट नॉन एलोकेटेड यहाँ पर है, ये 6 वाला. अब इसका इक्वेशन क्या बन जाएगा? इट इज एट द पोजीशन सेकंड रो फर्स्ट कॉलम. सो इट विल बी u2 प्लस v1, u2 प्लस v1 माइनस 6, क्योंकि वहां पर 6 कॉस्ट है. सो व्हाट आई विल राइट हियर लाइक दिस इज इक्वल टू u2 प्लस v1 माइनस 6. आंसर आई विल गेट -3. सो होप यू हैव गॉट इट. Now for remaining 3, now remaining 3 part, that is this one, this non-allocation, and this non-allocation. For these three cells, you yourself try and find out the values of opportunity cost. Okay, so most of them are giving the answers as -3, 0 and -3. Let us check it. Yes, -3, 0 and -3. You all are correct that the answers are -3, 0 and -3. Just for those who didn't get it, I will just explain one of this. Let us say this one. If I want to find out the opportunity cost for this particular cell, delta 32. तो 32 मेरा कहाँ पर है, ये वाला है. ओके, दिस वन. दिस 8 इज माई थर्ड 2 पोर्शन. तो मेरे को क्या करना है, U3 plus V2 minus the cost, that is 8, that is your opportunity cost. So I will get 4 plus 1 minus 8, answer as -3. Now I said after finding out this opportunity cost, I will tell you what is the significance of this. ये हम क्यों फाइंड कर रहे हैं. Now, so as the word suggests, opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means this particular values, whatever we get, are the opportunities if we would have allocated at this particular cell. देखो अभी allocated नहीं है. It is we have found out opportunity cost for non allocated cells. मतलब अभी allocation नहीं है. तो ये नंबर्स जो हमको मिले क्या बताते हैं कि अगर उस पॉइंट पे allocation होता तो तुम्हारे रिजल्ट पे क्या इफेक्ट आता. This -5 indicates there is no opportunity or there is a loss. अगर आप वहां पर अलोकेट करोगे तो आपको -5 का लॉस होगा इन द फाइनल आंसर. सिमिलरली डेल्टा 13 -9 अगेन ऑल्सो इंडिकेट्स लॉस. देन -3 माइनस आ गया मतलब अगेन इट इज अ लॉस. अगेन -3 इट इज अ लॉस. 0 नाइदर प्रॉफिट नॉर लॉस. -3 लॉस. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है, अगर हमने इस जगह पे अलोकेट किए जो अलोकेटेड नहीं था, उस जगह पे अलोकेट करोगे तो एनी हाउ कोई भी जगह पे मुझे लॉस ही होने वाला है. नाउ व्हाट विल बी आवर कंक्लूजन. मेरा कंक्लूजन क्या होगा कि जो मैंने अलोकेट किया हूं वो मेरा परफेक्ट है, बिकॉज इसमें मुझे कहीं पर भी अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं दिख रही है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट अस से इसमें से हमको कोई भी एक हमको पॉजिटिव आ जाता, सो व्हाट विल दैट इंडिकेट कि वहां पर मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी है. The conclusion is if all the values of delta are 0 or negative, understand my statement, if the values of deltas, that means opportunity cost, are 0 or negative, we can say the solution is optimum. मतलब उसके अंदर और कुछ कम नहीं हो सकता है. When the condition is all delta should be either 0 or negative. So I will write down one statement here that as all the values of delta are either negative or 0, the solution is optimum. And if solution is optimum, I can now write the total minimum cost is ₹209. जो भी हमने find out किए थे वो optimum है. There is no other way or no other opportunity to cut down this cost further. And this completes the solution. ठीक है, the simple thing you have to find out opportunity cost. अगर opportunity cost नेगेटिव या 0 आता है, that means जो भी हमने फाइंड आउट किया इनिशियल बेसिक फिजिबल सॉल्यूशन में वही हमारा आंसर है. हमको और कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं है, बिकॉज ऑल द थिंग्स आर आइदर नेगेटिव और 0. इट इंडिकेट्स देयर इज नो फर्दर अपॉर्चुनिटी टू रिड्यूस द कॉस्ट फर्दर. Hence I will write जो भी हमने फाइंड आउट किया वो ऑप्टिमम है. आई विल राइट सॉल्यूशन इज ऑप्टिमम. और जो आंसर हमको वहां मिला था, आई विल जस्ट इंट्रोड्यूस वन मोर वर्ड इन बिटवीन, टोटल मिनिमम कॉस्ट. पहले हमने क्या लिखे थे, सिर्फ टोटल कॉस्ट लिखे थे. अब मैं लिख दिया टोटल मिनिमम कॉस्ट. इससे मिनिमम नहीं हो सकता है बिकॉज देयर इज नो अपॉर्चुनिटी.